evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for coming today. We're proud to be able to make a few announcements that the governor's going to make here shortly about some Go Mesa projects, and we're catching feedback. And can y'all hear me without this? I'm fixing to turn it off. How about that? Can you hear me now? Yeah. All right, we'll just do it that way. But we want to make a few announcements. The Commission on Marine Resources, Department of Marine Resources, and the committee have worked together hard to come up with the projects that are needed to be able to use the Go Mesa funds for 2019. And out of those funds, what we'll be looking at, we're looking at a lot of water quality and a lot of restore efforts and some efforts to be able to increase the quality of life in Mississippi. And as today we have a few of the elected officials with us. I hope I don't miss anyone. Senator Moran, I think I saw you in here a minute ago. We have Supervisor Greg Shaw from Hancock County, Supervisor Blaine LaFontaine from Hancock County. We've got Randy Broussard from Jackson County. We got the mayor. Is he here?
Mayor Biloxi.
Yeah, there he is. I see him now. Mayor Popo Gillett and Mayor Mike Farr from the city of Bay St. Louis. And I hope I didn't miss anyone. If I did, I apologize for that. But I want to go ahead and get started. We're going to turn it over to Governor Phil Bryant, who has worked very hard with us and taking this money and using it wisely as he can to be able to make sure that Mississippi reaps the benefit that they deserve. Thank you very much, and Governor Phil Bryant.
Mr. Spraggins, thank you. Thank you for his hard work at DMR. I can tell you there's not many days that pass that General Spraggins and I are not on the phone together or meeting or texting one another. This has been a busy time on the Mississippi Gulf Coast, as you all know. Whether it's weather involvement, whether it's the Bonnie Carey that we've been struggling with, Mayor, or whether we're here for a celebration, it seems as if I have an opportunity to come down more and more. This is a good day to be able to come down. As we began to look at Go Mesa projects several years ago, and I want to thank our delegation. As you look at Stephen Palazzo, for example, United States Congressman Thad Cochran was instrumental in helping states receive a larger share of the Go Mesa funding. This used to be a small share of the cost of drilling offshore, of having oil and gas platforms. And states got a very small share of it, and we were happy to get it. Then Senator Cochran and Senator Wicker decided that the states needed to share more of the treasure that was coming from offshore of our states. And so these amounts increased. And as you can see around the room, they've had a dramatic effect. Anytime we have the opportunity to come and help restore, help keep our land, water, and air into the condition that it is and improve upon it, continue to improve upon it. It is something that's very close to my heart, something I enjoy doing, and I think something that will send a message to not only people in Mississippi, but across the United States, that this is the destination place. This is the location where we care more about our land, water, and air than perhaps others do, and we're going to take care of it. So today we will be announcing 17 projects of the Go Mesa funding, $20,850,000 worth, just this year. Now, this is not BP money. This is not restore funding. This is Go Mesa. This is just one of the buckets. And fortunately for us here in the state of Mississippi and along the Gulf Coast, it can be brought into the Gulf Coast almost immediately. So as soon as we identify the projects, and we work with the DMR board, General Spraggins, and the community to identify the projects that are coast-centric. And believe me, now the boards of supervisors have worked so hard, the senators, our state delegation, our House members, our boards of supervisors and mayors understand that they need to get in early. They need to identify the projects because that $20 million goes very quickly in an area that could receive so much more and has in the past and will continue to do so in the future. So let me just start with these Go Mesa projects after we identify where the funding comes from. And so those that might talk about the oil and gas industry needs to realize not only is America become energy independent, but more funds are coming into, being pulled into the states than ever before. First project, artificial reef construction. We just simply don't have enough reefs. Structures are good for the ocean. So this $1 million will go to identify as a priority in MDR's artificial reef development, plan and deploy donated concrete that's being donated, so we're being able to enhance that $1 million material at specific locations in Katrina Key and Mississippi offshore artificial reefs. So building more artificial reefs will bring more oysters, more shrimp, more fish, and all of those things that we enjoy. Audubon, Mississippi. The Audubon Society has been here since the very beginning. We enjoy the relationship. As you can see, these projects will be described as I move along in the boards that are before you. The Audubon, Mississippi, nature-based tourism. Nature-based tourism is huge. There are poor children that live in Jackson, Mississippi that's never seen this ocean. I can tell you, as a young man from the Mississippi Delta, I was near my teens before I ever had the opportunity, Mayor, to enjoy it. But we want to bring them in. We want the tourists to come and see this remarkable piece of land that we have. So we're going to spend $300,000 in increased management and stewardship for the beach nesting and foraging species, so that they understand that these birds are along the beach are there for a reason. Jackson County, Randy, the front beach erosion control and renourishment, $1.9 million. Project includes installation of concrete swales between the seawall and existing beach walkway, along with installing not only those swales, but allowing the storm water to be collected and conveyed through subsurface outfalls located in the Mississippi Sound. We're desperately trying to make this water a better place for us to be able to not only fish, but enjoy the recreation, swim, and bring our children. City of Gulfport, where's the mayor? I know the City of Gulfport's here. They're probably getting ready for the bash, aren't you?
That's
and
right.
I'll be there in just a little bit. So,
Hours.
City of Gulfport, Coffee Creek outfall, $2 million project will turn 30 feet wide outfall into a pier on the beach. And you know, as people came onto the beach and they see those outfalls, those big old concrete pipes, they think the worst of them, and they don't like to go out there. So we're going to combine some of those. We're going to enhance those, and more people will be able to come on the beach as we begin to clean it up. More people on the beach means more people in South Mississippi. Water quality at Coffee Creek, install structures and technology north of Highway 90, improve the water quality again of the creek that flows into the Mississippi Sound. A lot of the things that we don't want in this sound are coming north of here, and they're coming through the creeks. And so we're going to have to move north to clean them up if we ever expect to get where we really want to be. City of Biloxi, Mayor, the Bayview area, Bayview Avenue Boardwalk and Living Shoreline, $2.9 million. Project will replace the rock along Bayview, just across the street here. We're going to reclaim all of that. As I understand it, years ago, the mayor told me people would come and enjoy that. There was a beach there. You could go fishing. And now as you see it, it's grown over and the rocks are strewn about. No one can enjoy it. We're going to reclaim that area for the people of Biloxi and the Gulf Coast. Mayor's been working hard on that project. We're honored to be a part of it. City of Bay St. Louis, Ward 6 boat launch. We've got to be able to safely put these boats in and out of the water. People bring their boats here. They expect to enjoy boating and the water sports, and we've got to make it safe for them. So that's a $600,000 project that will be there in Bay St. Louis. It's a bunch of them. Y'all be patient with me. Hancock County, now Buccaneer State Park. Now, I'm going to be careful here, but I will tell you, if you look at all the state parks in the state of Mississippi and which one of them is actually making money, Buccaneer. People come to Buccaneer State Park, so we're going to put $2 million in there to enhance Mississippi's only state park with direct access to the Gulf of Mexico, the only state park. We ought to fix that one day and get another one down here at least, but the only one with direct access to the Gulf of Mexico. Will preserve and improve the local water quality again, make sure the RVs and the sewage system there is not leaching into the Gulf, and I think that'll be a sound investment. City of Biloxi again, East Biloxi Boardwalk, $3 million, and there it's your day here. The project will extend the existing boardwalk to 10 feet with new design constructed to help reduce the erosion process and contribute to storm resilient infrastructure. So we're going to actually use Alabama River sand. I know we had to go to Alabama to get this, but it's heavier. It's not as easy to blow off of the beach and onto the road. So there it is. Mayor's got some already. By simply investing in the granules of sand we may be able to keep that sand off your beach, and I know it, and you know it. A good heavy wind, and MDOT and the counties and the cities are out there spending millions of dollars to try to remove that sand, and plus we have to put it back on the beach. The new design of the boardwalk will be constructed so when the wind blows, the sand will stay there on the beach. This is going to be another remarkable opportunity. Harrison County Board of Supervisors, COs, the sand dune creation, $200,000. I have seen so many photographs that people send me, particularly with their family, on the beach. They're all out there, they're beautiful, and there's sand dunes and COs behind them, and they're in Florida. They need to be here. And the dunes and the COs that not only are beautiful and add to the aesthetics of the beach, but help clean the beach. They're there for a reason as well. And so we're going to add more of those. Contaminant removal from Port of Pascagoula. There's been lead contaminated soil at the Port of Pascagoula probably since the 1980s. We're going to get that out of there. We're going to remove it. That port is thriving, it's growing. I can tell you businesses are looking at it as they are the Port of Gulfport. We just had Arctic Anvil last week where there were somewhere between 4,500 and 5,000 pieces of military equipment that came through these two ports. A remarkable opportunity, but we've got to clean these ports up, and we're going to put $800,000 Port of Pascagoula. Infinity Science Center, another remarkable, I think, investment for the state of Mississippi. So the first thing people see coming in from Louisiana and out is Infinity. They got in some invasive species there. We're going to remove that and try to enhance the landscaping scale for ecosystem restoration in and around Infinity. Number 13, Mississippi State University, Institute for Marine Mammal Studies. Yeah, there you sit right over here. This is something that we are going to invest $1.25 million in. We need to do all the research that we can to find out how we can protect these animals, how we can protect those bottlenose dolphins, those sea turtles, other things when you have this introduction of fresh water. There are things that we can do, but first we've got to understand what's happening to them. And the mortality rate, as you know, has been very high with the fresh water coming in. Is there things that we can do? Can we help them sustain their life and quality here? And there's nobody better than Mississippi State and Institute for Marine Mammal Studies to be able to tell us exactly how we go about doing that. Number 14, water quality. I hope you see a theme here. Another $1 million on improving water quality. What this will help us do with DEQ is begin projects on improving the water quality along the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Restore Act fundings will come in and be added to this $1 million. So we will put 5 or 6 or 10 or 20 million more dollars that are coming in. But Restore Act takes so long. And you know, I'm impatient. I want to get started. So we're going to put this $1 million into getting our water cleaner immediately and then add to it with our other buckets of Restore Act. USM Aquaculture Depth Control Unit, $300,000. Again, USM is working on that. We've got to have some automated repetitive process training of going in. If you're going out there in the old days and with your thongs and trying to pull up oysters, I hate to tell you, but we're getting older. And we have to automate this. When you go to Toyota, I think last time I was there, they told me there were over 100 robots in the Toyota plant. And there's not a lot of robotics dealing with what we do with oysters, and we're going to change that. So we have a lot of opportunities for new technology and aquaculture depth control, and we're going to put $300,000 into that. USM, you probably see another pattern in USM here, water sampling. After the Bonnet Carey spillway, this is ongoing. Another $300,000 we put, General, probably at least that or more into it. We immediately, when the Bonnet Carey we knew was going to be open, called in USM, put those boats in the water to begin to test our water to see what the quality of it was going to be and how long it would last. And Southern Miss does a remarkable job there. And finally, the Mississippi Aquarium. Fish acquisition transportation, we're going to make sure that we use a $1.3 million to try as best we can to harden that structure in the event of another hurricane. If we have a hurricane here, how do we move the animals that are in the aquarium? Moby will tell you this is an important thing to know, and we won't know it and we won't be prepared for it unless we invest. We're going to put $1.3 million in the event of another hurricane Lord help us, it will never happen, but if it is, we will have the equipment, the training, the personnel to be able to remove those animals and take them to a place of safety. And so that's item number 17. All of this will add up to $20,850,000, and I am very proud to be able to I have been working on this Gulf Coast, it seems all of my life, but the last 8 years with intensity, because I just realized what it can be, and we're just beginning. We're not there. We're getting close, but as I see a Centennial Plaza going in, and the aquarium going in. As I talked to the military just last week and with Arctic Anvil, and they said this is the designated military ports of the United States Department of Defense. You are our guys. Now that's amazing. The Army, Air Force, Navy, when they get ready to do the training that will be necessary to defend the world, they're going to come to the Mississippi Gulf Coast. It just didn't happen by accident. That Ocean Research Center will be announcing more soon of what we're going to do with the United States Navy and NOAA. It will be just remarkable. Your children are going to be very proud you were here today and we're a part of this. And last week, more good news. You probably saw Central Wicker, Central City Hyde Smith announced the Federal Fisheries Disaster Declaration. We've suffered. This fresh water has killed fish. It stopped the tourists. It's closed beaches. It stopped us from leasing the hotel rooms that we wanted to. The number of people that would have been down here this summer, it was almost like this was our summer. Everything's good. Everything's together. Oh, yeah, Bonnie Carey. So thank goodness, I will tell you, the President of the United States and Secretary Ross, and I talked to the Secretary just the other day, they know where the Mississippi Gulf Coast is at. And Secretary called and said, we are going to begin to bring in relief for the Mississippi Gulf Coast. We're asking them to do some things unusual, and I'm going to call on General Sprague to talk a little bit about what we will do with the Fisheries Disaster Declaration funding. Congress has put $165 million in it. I told them we only needed about half of that, but they are looking at additional appropriations for us. But this again will be a direct relief coming to the Mississippi Gulf Coast for the challenges that we've had after this fresh water. And General, if you want to tell me a little bit more about it.
Yes, sir. Well, as the governor said, we have a declaration, and that's the biggest step to get going. We have the declaration. We're working with NOAA, who worked with the Commerce Committee, and what we'll do is we'll give them information. We're doing it as we get it, as we correct each the losses is what we're having as far as each fishery, and we're looking at that and giving it to them and trying to put together our draft, which we are about to finish with our draft, and hopefully we'll have it done by the sometime in the next week or so. We'll have that draft for you to look at, sir, and we'll be able to send it forward. We're asking them to do something different. We asked them to look at charter boat fishermen. They never have. We asked them to look at the fishermen themselves to give them some immediate relief. We have right now we're sitting here with people that are trying to keep alive a business that has been devastated from 2011, then it went to 2016, then 2018, and twice in 2019 because of the Bonnie Carey. And every time we get something close to being built, it seems like nature takes us away, or either we do by doing it by something that we turn the water loose on. So what I'm trying to ask for is we need immediate relief. Because if we don't, the people that are fishermen are out there are not going to be able to continue to operate. And if we don't keep them operating, guess what's going to happen? We're going to lose a culture of Mississippi down here. That's one of the things we've had all our life down here, Governor, and we want to keep it. So we're going to ask for that. We're asking for economic impact, for tourism. Our vendors on the beach have had zero, almost zero business this year. A lot of them are selling piece by piece just to keep alive every day. We've got to help them out. The perception of our food and our seafood and water. The natural media didn't help us any. They put out some negative information about the seafood not being safe to eat. It's killed our industries as far as being able, just alone, processors are down $65 million this year. $65 million just in processors alone for as seafood processors. We need to help them. We got to do something to get them back. So the amount, I don't know. Don't know, like you said, I've asked them if, hey, if I was this 200 million or whatever the number is that we need, and you can't give it to me all in 1 year, give it to me a little bit every over a 5-year period or something to that point. And then we'll move forward with it. We'll do it as we can. We'll keep you updated as soon as I get any information. We'll let you know, and so as soon as we come up with any idea of when it's going to happen. Governor, thank you, because you stepped forward. He wasn't Secretary Ross himself. Talked to them and asked them to help us. And I do believe 100% after being in Washington this last week, it had not have been for our governor, this process would not be moving near as fast as it is today. So thank you again. If you get a chance to see Senator Workins, Senator Hyde-Smith, and Congressman Plaza, thank them too, because they worked hard at it too to make sure that they could do things. We'll be here for questions if you have any. And Governor's going to stick around a couple minutes if you need any questions. So we'll just, rather than have open questions, we'll wait around, let you talk to us if you have anything. We appreciate each and every one of you. We look forward to working with you. Governor, I tell you what, I don't know what I'm going to do without you, though. And you've been fantastic to the state of Mississippi. And I hope this isn't our last briefing in this building and before this year's out.
We may have one more surprise.
All right, thank you very much. God bless each and every one.
Mayor wants to say,
Yes, sir.
I think on behalf of everybody in this room, I've only been mayor 53 months, anybody's been counting. But I'm on from week one, we've worked together, and I congratulate DMR and your staff, MBA, Covington. These projects just didn't happen. They were proved, and they're valuable. But one thing I want to congratulate you is something called our wave, and you booked a winner. Okay, that's 3 of that 122 outfalls we're trying to replace. Your vision, spot on. So what we're trying to do with this project is going to be right there with it. I mean, it's going to be transformative along with our, I brought some props in case anybody wants, but we got 500 micron sand coming in. But I do want to say on behalf of everybody in this room, we appreciate your service. And I know you've been there day one, and it's like growing up. We've grown up together, and I appreciate everything you and everyone have done. So thank you on behalf of everybody.
We've captured about 6 of it, so we're very pleased, and it's 17 projects, but we have 2 of them that are, I think, are transformative for us, with regard to boardwalk and access to the water right across the street in Bayview, where we used to play, and there are rocks that would prevent things, but that's going to be a big addition to our, access to the water and have fun around the water. So that's coming, but another exciting project is the boardwalk, with the heavy sand and the knee wall to go along with the waves that are already in place between Oak Street and the small craft harbor. So that's a $3 million project, and the second phase would be the expansion of the Coon Street boat launch. Tom Bigby Waterway, I guess the river sand from the top of the Tom Bigby Waterway at the north point of Mobile Bay. Truck it, barge it, however it gets here. I think we need 25,000 cubic yards. So for that part, between Oak Street and the small craft harbor. Yeah.
All right, what's our cubic yard
Well,
quote?
I'm getting 25,000. I don't know. They got as much sand as you can. You just got to get it down from the top of Tom Bigby. It's just a Corps of Engineers saying that they took all of Tom Bigby waterway, and it's there ready to bring down.
So we are currently designing a beach renourishment
Right.
Yeah.
with hauling the sand in now too. So it's worth talking about. Now our
The
cubic yard quote is.
cost is there's no cost. You go get it, you bring it. They give you the sand.
Oh, they're
This
getting
cost
it.
this
You got to
transport.
get it here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've budgeted for $20 a cubic yard. I wonder if that's worth the
Oh, $20,
transportation.
I guess that is.
But we still get it
But this-
all, right?
yeah.
That would be purchasing that sand. Now this is our sand.
But see,
That's what we put the dredge in.
this is more like you get up on the Atlantic coast, maybe.
Yeah, that's Miami Beach kind of thing.
Yeah.
I wonder what that feels like between your toes.
It's different.
Did you get to do that too?
Yeah. But the only downside, this is just in the canal And Susan Reese, head of Mobile Corps of Engineers, y'all probably under New Orleans Corps, huh?
No, we're Mobile.
Oh, yeah, Mobile.
We go sometimes, most time we're on the mobile, sometimes on the beach, sometimes we're on the.
Well,
Yeah, it depends on what the issue is.
Justin McKyle and Susan Reese, the one that said we can get you as much as you want. Now, it's pink right now, but it'll be white before it's over.
Well, we have to wash the sand that we use locally to actually renourish
You
and
know,
all in.
like I said, with this, we have 9 steps on the seawall.
Yes, sir.
Okay? So we're gonna, and we have 31,000 linear feet. About 14,000 already have a poured in place concrete 10-footer on top of it, and we've tested it. The seawall will hold it, there's no stress to it, so that's why they've given us okay. But we're gonna add this knee wall 18 inches. So it's going to raise the profile. When that wind blows, and knock it down, and the equipment the Sand Beach Authority can actually sweep it out and kind of make a big move.
Now, what's that height?
This is 18 inches. It's 18 by this is a 1, 2, 3, 4. It's 18 inch, 12, 18.
And how many feet of this?
25,000 cubic yards.
You know how deep it's going to be?
It's going to be 230 feet. If you go one boat launch, I think.
Yeah, and it's struggling.
No,
Is this supposed to walk across the street?
No, that's the other one. That's across the street. My
There's
brother's-
a wooden one over here.
That was, but the boat launch, the rocks that were done over there, my brothers threw me off a pier. I guess how I learned how to swim. But we used to have massive boat races, hydroplane races, and they would, they
Yeah,
actually,
because it's a bay.
yeah,
Yeah.
and they would actually set their boats up on sawhorses and test it. I mean, it was, we had so much water access there, and that's what's going to be part of the city. But this is on the beach, and your 3 outfalls. You got to go see it.
Oh,
They're beautiful. You're gonna have weddings on.
I'm going there as soon as I leave here.
So we're going to design that look in that field with the knee wall, this 18-inch knee wall, to reflect the colors are perfect. The colors are perfect. At first it looked like it was going to be a massive, but it is actually perfect. We got 3 of them.
Now, that's from what street to what street?
This is Oak Street, and this is Bellman. That's the small craft hall.
So this is our boardwalk.
This is the boardwalk. Right.
Okay.
And then second phase, we're going to expand to all we have is 1 boat launch. We don't have any boat launches, where people, but we're going to expand. We got the property already, so that's our next phase. But the boardwalk's going to go in. I mean, with the knee wall, I mean, it's absolutely perfect with the sand.
And this river sand is going on.
That's right.
And there's enough for me to have some too.
As far as I know. So all we need is, I think, Bob.
Another couple of truckloads.
Right?
Well, we're talking about barging it down and trucking it, but 25,000 cubic yards is what the company can say we need. So that's all part of this thing. It's a great project.
Very exciting.
The last little old hurricane, it wasn't a hurricane, wasn't a tropical storm, but the only thing it did, you come down Highway 9, it was covered with sand.
Still,
Absolutely. In nothing else, there wasn't a sign post down, but we had to get everybody out there to clean the daggum sand on
that's
Highway
right.
90.
And we're going to do it again, full cruise. So we got to get, and we've just put a few inches of asphalt on US 9 and finishing up, this week. So
But
the
the boat
sand-
races would be interesting. I know Woody
Oh, yeah,
tried
boat races
for a
were-
while. Yeah.
It was every week.
And there's about, 10 different types of boat races.
Oh, yeah.
So you put them back there. We used to do it at the reservoir.
Yeah.
And they had cookouts and bands playing for boat races.
Well,
during the day.
as I remember, the little bitty outboard mills with 3 cylinders, if they had big megaphones, and it sounded like it was an airplane coming in there.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was, it's
We had
replenishing.
power
it.
boats, man. They pull up there
Exactly.
with a 327. Blum, 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 blum,
Oh,
blum.
yeah. Big deal.
We find the boardwalk will be interesting.
All right.
Thank you, Governor.
Yeah,
Thank you so
thank
much.
y'all.
So-
Mayor, it was so good to meet you.
Oh, great to see you. Tell that
This is an
give him a
exciting
vote.
project.
With the automated